Welcome back to the Almost Above Average podcast. My name is Chris McIntyre, and today, guess what? We're going to be talking about Trump again. Trump says his chronic venous insufficiency makes it impossible for him to testify about Epstein. His chronic venous insufficiency makes it so he cannot testify.
Let's be honest.
Maga, what do you think about that?
This is the same guy that said, I can't go fight in Vietnam because I have a bone spur. Now he's like, I can't testify that I'm a rapist because I got cankles.
Look at your president, MAGA. Look at President Cankles. He's saying my veins hurt. I can't possibly testify about the Epstein thing.
But he could take away your rights.
Yeah. Trump claims his doctor told him he can't go to the DOJ, do a disposition on his relationship with Epstein because he needs to be resting his feet at home. That's from a doctor.
So
where can I find a doctor like that?
So that means he can't go to the White House. He can't go to the Oval Office and have conferences because it hurts too much to sit in there, right?
No. He just can't.
So
he can't
we can
testify
impeach
about
him
things that
now,
are
right?
No. He just
right?
can't go testify.
So he can skip the things he doesn't want to. Hey, look at that rich entitlement, everybody. How about that? Y'all love that?
Trump reportedly screamed at his lawyers this morning, "Why did no one tell me my lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal will require me to testify under oath about my relationship with Epstein?" That's funny. Trump is reportedly very relieved the Wall Street Journal hasn't also published his birthday card for Epstein's 48th birthday party or 43rd birthday party. They didn't actually publish that yet. That is coming, though, I hope.
I hope so.
That's something we need to see. Everyone should be aware of that by now, that creepy letter that Donald Trump wrote to Jeffrey Epstein that said something about enigmas and keep your beautiful secrets secret or some other bullshit like that.
Well, I think there's another way we all need to look at this. Well, at least half of this organization needs to look at this. This is how stupid he thinks you are. Oh, it doesn't exist. I don't know him. I only wrote my birthday card. Hey, I'm suing because they released my birthday card that I I sent to Trump, and I'm mad about it. Never mind. I'm going to back down like another little taco. And you guys are supposed to go and believe what he said each time, even though what he said the time before is a contradiction. So, A, he knew Epstein. There's plenty of video testimony, images.
Undisputed.
Affidavits, like it's undisputed. There's no question. In fact, what I find wild is every time I turn around, there's a new bit of evidence coming out about their connection and the involvement and everything. And the Maxwell's changed their story like 18 bazillion times. It's just showing how stupid they think you are because they're releasing false testimony that she's gotten with Trump's lawyer to get out there. And now he can't go testify because, which is ironic.
No incentive to tell the truth, or to, even if she did know, she has no incentive to tell it.
We're getting off topic. Health was the topic today.
Oh, that's true.
Cankle boy can't go testify, but he can go golfing. That's okay, but he can't testify. Anybody that thinks those two things are true is an idiot.
And if you're going to bring up Barack Obama is reportedly offering to testify under oath about whatever scandal Trump is inventing about him in exchange for Trump testifying under oath about Epstein. Obama's offering to testify. If you guys keep throwing Obama's name out there, he's offering to go testify. Now, will Trump? No, he won't. We already know that.
It's Cankles.
President Cankles will not.
Now, as funny as the Cankles are, I think there is actually a significant thing. And I was reading somewhere, this guy that's not a doctor was saying he's got like 6 to 8 months. I think that might have more validity than people think. So can you pull up the hand thing, the image of his makeup from this weekend or Friday? Because there's a makeup thing that they're doing on his right hand, right in here, which for anybody who knows, this is where they usually insert the IDs.
From yesterday?
I sent you on the thing.
Is it on WhatsApp?
Yeah. There's an image that shows it really clearly.
Oh, here it is. Sorry, crew. Hey, if you made it this far in the video, please hit subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. We're just a couple of dudes trying to do some pro-democracy stuff because we're sick and tired of what this administration is doing in our country.
We're just helping connect all these random-ass dots that are flooding your screen all the time.
Yeah, and this is being paid for by me. So I put my Venmo in the description. If any of you want to donate, please. I would love that. I'd appreciate it.
And we're not medical doctors. We're just two guys on YouTube.
2 Americans on YouTube.
Can you click on the image and bring it up? So this was, 3 days ago, Friday? That he had this really shitty makeup covering up his hand. And this is the 4th or 5th time that we've seen this over the last few months.
Yep.
And if you look
You
at
think
it,
he's getting injections?
IV treatments.
Why don't they put the IV in his feet or something?
Because these are, I'm not a doctor, please forgive me, anybody that I say this wrong, but there's a return path that you could put the IV into here to go to your heart. And I suspect he's having congestive heart failure. And that is why he's got the bloating, the edema. And if you look at like between his pointer finger knuckle and his middle knuckle, you can see the purple bruising right there. And you can kind of see it up north his cuff. You can actually see in the very corner the makeup on the cuff, but they're not even trying to hide this anymore, like from a makeup standpoint. But if you look at,
oh man,
yeah, but if you look and like the first few times that this popped up, people were pointing to the makeup patch right there. And they were like, oh, it's because he shakes so many hands. It's like bullshit. And it's like, oh.
Shake so many hands? That part of your hand doesn't touch. That's part of your hand touches the least amount of hand when you're shaking someone's hand.
Yeah, that's where the thumb goes.
Yeah, that's a bullshit excuse.
Anyway, yeah, like why didn't he have that? Anyway,
hey, doctors, nurses, medical professionals, what is your best guess for why Trump is appearing like this in public all the time? Take into account his cankles and his slow speech. I'd like to know what medical professionals think about what Trump is hiding. He's clearly hiding something. That's makeup. That's what you hide shit with.
But this is not the first time. This has been shown multiple times, and it's gotten to where he's gotten so much attention on it. He has started covering his hands very carefully. And there was actually a really cool article that was showing him at a previous meeting where he had him sitting behind the famous Oval Office desk. I forget the name of it.
Oval Office?
No.
Resolute Desk?
The Resolute Desk, yes. So, what was it? Roosevelt, I guess it was, or one of them put in that cover, the cover's legs, and then they've taken it out and they've put it back, but it's back now. So they can hide his cankles and his legs swelling, all that kind of stuff. And there was another picture they had recently that a photographer took, and it had an airplane wing covering his cankles, and that they had to adjust the picture to make sure the airplane that was sitting on the desk covered his ankles during this picture. And that means the cankles are persistent. His hand is persistent. And there was another video I saw. If anybody wants to go and look up the video when Trump gets off of Air Force One in Alaska to go meet Putin, like Trump kind of like wiggly wobbles. And if you go look it up, he's had several falls on the ramp going up to Air Force One. And there's multiple videos I saw concatenated together that showed him having trouble walking straight. And they were saying that he is having very significant weakness of the knees and in the legs. So let's see, vein issues, weakness in legs, IV treatments in hands, slower moving, has to be helped up and down things. What does this all show? And now you got cognitive decline on top of it. Now, all that shows health issues. I think it leads to something serious where he is weak, physically weaker now than he used to be. Not a doctor, personal opinion. That's my view of it. But I think that when you add it up to the 2 emergency runs to the hospital during his first election, and once during the what was it, the G9 summit or something like that he was at recently, and they had to emergency evac him out of there instead of negotiating all those deals that he was supposed to make. It sounds to me exactly like he had a heart attack event in his first presidency, but it wasn't that big a deal. But when he had it, when he was at the G9 summit or whatever, G7, G9, whatever it is, summit, and they had to rush him out of there, and the presidents of the other countries like, wait, where'd he go? And then he's like, oh, I was just mad, blah, blah, blah. It's like, what?
You want to see the walk?
Yeah, like watch him walk down, like he's like all over the carpet. But look at him, like wobble, 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 wobble. His like even there, his balance is all wonky.
That is not the look of a strong leader.
Compared to Obama getting off the plane, just saying. Look at that, had trouble finding the railing.
He's very like ba-doom, da-doom, da-doom, da-doom. That's what I look like.
Yeah, he doesn't have the confidence. In all fairness, you wouldn't either. I've seen you walk.
Mopey Trump. Looking like a bitch.
But this isn't what really stands out to me. What really stands out to me is when he gets to the red carpet and he starts wig-waggling all over the place. Keep going. Okay, pause. Pause right here. So one of the big things, can you close that little banner here with that X? So look at how far away
the red carpet is?
The red carpet is.
Now,
this was something.
Putin on the knees from our military service members?
The red carpet for Putin went all the way to the edge of the ramp. His foot never touched the tarmac until he met Trump, or until he got off of this with Trump.
That's pathetic. Pathetic.
We couldn't even roll out the red carpet all the way for our president, but we did for our possible enemy.
With our military on their knees. That had to be ordered.
Well, look at that other guy behind him.
He's like, even Trump, like he doesn't walk normal.
No, keep going. Look at that. He's shifting left to right here.
Don't.
Shifting. Hey, make it larger with that the box thing over on the side. Now keep playing. But look at this. He's shifting his weight weird. It's like he has to do a little bit on the left. But even this is like adjusting his direction.
Yeah. He can't walk straight.
Oh. Look at that. He's listening to the left. Now he's listening to the right. But wait till he gets to the red carpet and he goes from one side to the other.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's either physical or cognitive decline. Pick one. Keep going. What is he supposed to be? 6'3", 215? Okay, now he starts on the right. Now he's heading to the middle. Now he's going over to the left. Now he's almost, yep, now he goes back to the middle. Now he goes over to the right. Almost goes off of it. Now he goes back to the middle. Now he goes all the way over to the left. Where the fuck's he going?
He's like a bowling ball about to go into the gutter.
Yeah.
Oh. Whoa.
I wish they had a part where he gets all giddy and starts clapping like this for Putin. Like, oh my God. But there's a few other videos I saw with him walking in various things, and he's struggling. Like you just see he's limping. Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Stroke possibility. We don't know that for certain. Brain issues, can't walk straight, has trouble lifting things, and he's had this for a while. I firmly believe he had a stroke in his first
to the hospital in his first term.
His first. Oh my God, I'm completely blanking. The first time he was president, his first term, and I think he had another one a couple months ago. And I think the second one has really knocked him down a lot.
When he had to leave Canada in a hurry?
Well, the G7 or G9 summit or whatever. We had to leave that in a hurry. I think he had a heart attack there. And then because of that, he's been going through a bunch of like health treatments, trying to keep him from dying. And that's why his hand is bruised, because he's receiving intravenous heart medication, trying to keep his ass alive. And it's just fading out. And then it's so frequent. They don't even care about the makeup. They don't like, they released one medical thing in his entire career that I know of, which was, he has some leaky veins. I'm like, leaky veins don't cause you to like have to like work really hard to hold a cup.
Yeah. You hear like the mental gymnastics Caroline Leavitt has to go through explaining that.
I saw that she quit wearing her cross because she's full of shit.
Which every time Trump's health comes up, she's always like, well, if you've made it this far in the video, do me a huge favor. Please hit subscribe, hit like, and drop a comment. It is the best way to support us and keep this content coming, and I absolutely appreciate it. Thanks for being a part of the Almost Above Average fam. Y'all know he's the hardest working president that has ever worked ever. He's always working around the clock, and you can trust that he's going to be there till tomorrow.
Tomorrow. You can be there till tomorrow. That's all we can guarantee is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Next week, maybe. Not tomorrow. Or tomorrow, maybe. But yeah.
So your God King doesn't seem to be a God King anymore. He seems to be a fallible human being.
I'm going to quote the Bible because I love doing that. Thou shalt have no God before me.
Amen.
So that's like one of the main principles of the freaking Bible. He is the God. God is the God. Anybody else that is registered as a God is an offense to God. That is the Christian way. Come on. So,
I would love to get one of those MAGAs that believe he's God on the podcast just to talk. Comment.
But the big thing that keeps standing out for me lately is, okay, the walking is weird. Like a lot of stuff you could just kind of write off, but there's a lot of smoke here of can't walk, has trouble picking stuff up, cognitive lapses, can't hear, is not paying attention.
Can't speak. He hasn't been able to speak for years.
But he's going to sleep at things. They think he fell asleep at his birthday party military march that they had.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
He falls asleep all over places. He's infatuated. There's been many videos of where he soiled himself on live TV, in his diaper, out on a golf course.
Many reports about his stench, too. Like, there's a lot of reports that I've heard about.
There's even a picture of Putin holding his nose in the Beast in Alaska going, and he farted. Like, come on. But he's incontinent.
He can't control that shit. Incontinent. Cognizant. We're learning vocabulary on the Almost Above Average podcast today.
I told you,
Thanks
we're just
tuning in.
Almost above average bros trying to figure some shit out.
Almost above average. That's why we named the podcast that. You can't hold that against me. But do hit subscribe, please.
We're SMRT smart. But the one thing that really just keeps jumping out at me is like every day we get a little bit more added to that puzzle. Like the picture's becoming clearer. During his first term, holding the glass was the big thing, right? He had like wrap his hands all around these tiny little glasses and like maneuver it up into his mouth. And you're like, okay, cognitively or physically fair. But now walking, talking, listening, staying awake, not shitting himself, like it's a lot. That's a lot. But now the big thing is he going to go to heaven talk that he's doing?
Oh man. So that before you move on, that kind of gives a little insight to his brain. Like it kind of feels like he's feeling bad about some stuff.
I think for me, it's more of he knows his time is coming and it's imminent, and he's starting to think about it. So I think all this health stuff has got him going, all right, how can I cheat my way into heaven? What is one thing I can do to guarantee myself into heaven? And for him, it was the Ukrainian war. But Trump's attention span's that of a gnat. So I'm going to tax furniture now. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to go raid Colton or Bolton, whatever his name's house. And I'm going to arm the National Guard. And I'm going to start taking over more cities. And like, it's all a distraction from he's dying, guys. And I don't know if you saw this, but he started talking about how Vance will be his successor. So can't walk, can't talk, can't think, can't speak, can't hold shit, can't stay awake, has multiple bruises and injuries and makeup, and multiple things are happening to prevent you from seeing how much he's declining. And all of a sudden he starts talking about death, and Vance is seating him. And he's only, 8 months into his first term. Or 7 months into his first term, he's already talking about Vance seating him. He's already talking about throwing his weight. He's trying to get the elections rigged as fast as possible. And he's talking about going to heaven. Motherfucker's on short clock time. Like this guy's looking at the tunnel. It's coming up.
He's in the legacy tunnel right now, trying to build it real quick.
Yeah, well, he's trying to get things ready before he goes on, because he thinks that these actions are. And we had talked about this before. Does he know he's evil, or does he think he's doing good? And in his mind, if he is doing what he thinks is valuable, which is power and money and control, that is good to him because that feels good to him, because that motherfucker doesn't know the Bible. Name one good quote he's ever given out of that thing. But anyway.
He says he can't because he wouldn't, because he's never cracked it open.
Yeah, he can't even hold it straight up. And everybody knows that holding the Bible upside down with a cross in it is satanic. Just saying.
Where are
when
you
hold up the Bible and a cross is upside down, isn't that the icon of Satan?
Where was your outrage, Christians? Where was the outrage, Catholics?
Was it when he signed them and sold them to you for $60 with his propaganda in it? That didn't get it. Oh my God. That line again. We keep talking about that line again.
Are you trying to say that years and years, 80 years of McDonald's and KFC and Diet Coke can possibly lead to poor health? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're telling the American people? JTrain?
Unbelievable that we are.
So are we going to have to prepare for a reality where Just Dance Vance is the president of the United States of America? I'm not ready for that, Captain Eyeliner. I'm just not ready for that.
Well, if you really want to get into like the specifics of what is the danger that we are facing, we have to look very specifically at what's happening in Texas. They're gerrymandering it. And I saw somewhere this weekend, there's more Democrats voted to register to vote in Texas than Republicans by less than 10%. I think it's like
that's why they're doing it.
0.6% or 5% or something like that is the difference in number of voters. So it's almost even. But the fact that they can change the districting to have 0 Democrats representative of the state is gerrymandering. It's pure and simple. It's cheating in my mind. Taxation without representation should start coming up because motherfuckers, we have a revolutionary war about that shit. But anyway, so now that California is doing it, he's going to sue California because they're doing exactly what Texas is doing, which I find ironic. But I read something.
I was going to ask you about that. What is your opinion on what Governor Newsom is doing in California for the maps to gerrymander California in response to Texas? How do you feel about that?
I think it's fighting fire with fire. I think it's eliminating the representation of the people in order to try to balance it out for the greater good. And I hate that idea because it feels
it's going to be a domino effect,
representative. Right? It's well, yeah, and that's the other thing too. Like Illinois is talking about now, Missouri is talking about now, New York's like, and honestly, what will probably end up happening is over the next few months, It'll slowly cast. I mean, North Carolina's been doing it for years. South Carolina's been doing it for years. Florida, like everybody does it to some extent. But now that the Supreme Court ruled that they don't give a shit, everybody's going to do it. And that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And no
Do you know who
suing of
wins?
California is going to reverse it.
Do you know who's winning this war right now? It's Putin and Russia. Like, this is exactly what they've been working on for decades, to create chaos in the United States so they can enact their agenda. And that seems to be exactly President Trump gave it. They went to Alaska to talk about peace, according to Trump. He left with no deal at all. He basically had to tuck his tail between his legs. And no one on the MAGA side is like, what the fuck? Trump was supposed to go there for peace and he didn't get anything. I didn't hear anybody on the MAGA side saying that.
So the big thing I wanted to point out was something I heard Andrew Bustamante, the Everyday Spy guy, say. And he said this before Trump even got elected. And that is the misinformation and the political agenda of Russia and China isn't to get the Republicans to win, because they don't want a strong America. If they backed one party enough to help them get solidified and become the core of the country, that would build our strength, right? In theory. Even if it was in the wrong direction, we at least mostly be moving in that same direction. But the best thing they can do, and why they spend so much money arguing both sides of the equation, because they do, anti-vaccine, pro-vaccine, anti-socialism, pro-socialism, the reason they're arguing so hard from both sides and making both sides mad at each other is because a divided America where we're all mad at each other is a weak nation and more susceptible to bad things happening. And because of that, we elected dipshit, and dipshit appointed other dipshits, and things are going to happening now that are systemically making it worse for all Americans across the board. Like auto approving, like I'm gonna just take RFK's recent news. So RFK is going to use AI to just auto rubber stamp vaccines and other medicines that aren't mRNA based, but just start rubber stamping them. Well, the reason the CDC and the FDA and all those guys are in place, which they're getting gutted now, is to keep you from getting medicines without knowing the consequences and dying. And if you go back and look, there's tons of medications that were out there, like high dose lithium or other weight loss drugs that just fucking killed you, asbestos, and a bunch of different things. Didn't get the research, getting the due diligence, didn't have the medical understanding, and they fucking killed a lot of Americans. Now, look at what's happening now. The polio virus is spreading around. That was considered eradicated. Now it's killing people again.
Thanks, RFK.
RFK just announced that he's going to fully ban the COVID vaccine, the one that administered to ban the COVID vaccine. And the flu vaccine is after that. And the other vaccines are after that. So they don't give a shit about your lives.
Based on all what? Bullshit. Like, what are they basing that on? The couple people that may have had a bad reaction or maybe even death? It doesn't compare to the million. What was the death toll for COVID worldwide? It was in the millions, wasn't it? Yeah. What would the point of taking any vaccines off the market do other than appease your stupid conspiratorial agenda? That's retarded. Off topic. I went to return a drone today made in China, and the U.S. is no longer accepting DJI drones, which is one of the best drone makers in the world. I went to exchange it, and Best Buy couldn't honor it because DJI is no longer allowed in because of the tariffs. They're short on parts, so there's like a 90-day lead time just to get new drones in America.
India just shut off standard mail to us. China just shut off standard mail to us. Europe is going to be shutting off standard mail to us. We're not going to be able to get shit from these countries.
This is turning into Gilead, literally Gilead from The Handmaid's Tale, guys. Watch the show, read the book, watch the movie. This is exactly what President Trump is trying to turn this country into.
So according to
where women will be vessels for children.
With no voting rights, because dipshit already said women shouldn't have the right to vote. They don't have the right to abortion. They don't have the right to make decisions. And I've also heard them talk about not having the right to own property. And I've also heard about them not having the right to work. Those are the other things. They basically become farm animals.
If that is true, ladies, especially MAGA ladies, like, how do you accept that?
According to this,
I want to know in the comments. Leave me a comment. Ladies, how do you feel about the administration right now? And if you're just going to say in the comments, I love everything, like, yeah, you don't really have an opinion. What is your real opinion on what's going on? Are you okay, white women in America? Are you okay with all of the deportations and even the American citizens that are getting detained often, every day? Are you okay with that? Are you okay with your president lying about his health care or his health all the time and taking away health care from, what, 13 million through Medicaid cuts?
Yeah, add that on to the removal of vaccines and everything else. It just goes to show you. So I'm
Yeah.
seeing 18.2 million people worldwide dead from COVID over the time.
Okay, look up the stats for how many deaths can we
That was just
blame.
between 2020 and 2021.
How many deaths can we blame on the vaccine? I bet it's not 18 million. Is there a stat for that?
No, because there's no way to. I'm not a medical doctor. This is just my understanding of it. But my understanding is that deaths from the vaccine are a misrepresentation of symptoms. While there may be some people that had a reaction to some of the ingredients in the vaccine, it wasn't necessarily the mRNA itself that caused any of the deaths. Your camera just went dead.
I know.
The
I can still hear you.
mRNA-based deaths, to the best of my knowledge, are 0. But I don't have enough, or do we as a populace probably have enough to say it was one or the other. But there are a lot of arguments around the idea that the reactions for like the heart reactions, what was it? The heart inflammation, I forget what the name of it was, that caused a number of different deaths would have been greatly higher had the vaccine not been around at all. And because the vaccine was such a low impact to the body vaccine, people were able to get very easy medical treatment and get that with some like antibiotics or something, and then they were good to go. But a lot of doctors I heard talk about it said if they had gotten COVID first instead of the vaccine, there would have been a greater probability of a higher number of deaths. So it's like, if I punch you with my finger very gently, it hurts. Yeah, I'm sorry it hurts. But imagine getting punched by a gorilla. And a lot of that has to do with if you have, I don't know, 1,000 individual, we'll call them organisms. I don't know what the best thing is. Individual virus strands active. And that's enough to cause a heart inflammation reaction. Can you imagine what would happen if it was 15 million virus samples in your body running around doing stuff?
All right. Well, hey, my camera's, I got to figure that out. So let's end it right there and I'll edit it up.
He ghosted me, guys.
I did not.
He ghosted me. He's leaving me all to myself.
Yeah.
Anyway, Trump health. I'm wondering how long until Vegas starts putting odds on this. It's not an if. Everybody dies at some point. So it's a matter of when. And that guy seems to have trouble doing more and more stuff daily. And he's talking about dying more persistently. And I think the biggest fear that we need to have here is, as a society, is when he has nothing left to fear other than the inevitable, will he have any restraint with everybody else in that regard? And what I mean is, if he doesn't give a shit if he's going to die, does he give a shit if you die? Does he give a shit if he passes bad legislature or passes bad EOs? Like today's EO about executive order about a 1-year mandatory federal prison stay for burning a flag, which was found to be legal under the freedom of speech. That first right we have in the Constitution by the Supreme Court had already declared that that was a legal, non-punishable act of the freedom of speech. So he just violated your freedom of speech. He's taking away cashless bonds, which means that there's a lot of people are going to be in jail for a lot longer. Everything he does at this point seems to be moving towards destroying American fashion. And when you look at the new information coming out of the Fed, like he's not going to be around in my mind. He's probably going to die of natural causes before he sees the horrific burning of the world that seems to be inevitable with the actions he's causing. So, and honestly, at this point, I'm kind of looking to China to bail us out.
Dang.
Well, I don't know if you saw that.
I don't got any camera.
Well, one last thing. There was an article today, and it said because of the adoption of renewable energies from solar and wind and other sources, China's decarbonization is so extreme, they were not anticipating it being more than offsetting the new usage of coal around the world. But also, they're not sure what the climate models are anymore. So, all right. So, good news, depending on how you view it, maybe good news or bad news, depending on if you back the orange Cheeto. But everybody needs to get ready for that because that shit's coming.
That's right. Our President Trump is not in good health. Let us know what you think in the comments, MAGA, especially MAGA. And until next time, this is Almost Above Average. I'm Chris McIntyre. I know you can't see me, but that's JTrain representing over there by himself. And I appreciate that, JTrain.
All right. Peace out, brothers.
We'll see you tomorrow.
And
bye. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to the Almost Above Average podcast. I'm Chris McIntyre. And if you like what you heard, please hit subscribe and share it with a friend or a family member that might need to hear this stuff. We're doing a lot of political stuff on the podcast lately, but we're also sharing stories because that's what I really want to do with this podcast. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Please hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the comments. Peace.